And now, ladies and gentlemen, Panie, Panowie, witamy, welcome to a moment in history. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Presented by K2 Promotions, KMG, and Main Events, and brought to you in association with SMG, Regional Vice President Michael Brill, and the City of Wrocław, Polska, Mayor Rafa Dukiewicz. Sanctioned by the BDB, President Tomasz Putz, Supervisor at ringside Artur Ellenson, and the World Boxing Council, President Jose Suleiman, Supervisor Joe Dwyer. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring. From the United States, Dwayne Ford. From Finland, Esa Litosari. And from Canada, Craig Metcalf. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, your referee from Italy, Massimo Baravecchio. And now, the moment in history has arrived. This is the premier event at Stadion Miaski, the first World Heavyweight Championship to be held in Poland. Ladies and gentlemen, from Wrocław, Polska, Panie i Panowie, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with orange, official weight 98 kilograms. Professional record, 45 fights, 44 victories, including 28 knockouts. From Jilowice, Polska, the former light heavyweight world champion, the former cruiserweight world champion, and the WBC #1 ranked heavyweight challenger in the world, the Polish warrior, Tomasz Kula.
Are you getting dick?
And fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with gold, official weight 110.2 kilograms. Professional record, 44 fights, 42 victories, including 39 knockouts. From Kiev, Ukraine, and Hamburg, Germany, the 3-time World Heavyweight Champion, the reigning and defending WBC Heavyweight Champion of the World, Dr. Eisenhower, Vitaly.
Well, a quite extraordinary atmosphere. The noise reverberating around this stadium. It is almost deafening. For once, I think Michael Buffer was struggling to make himself heard over the crowd. Referee Massimo Baravecchio of Italy drawing the 2 fighters together.
Please, remember what I told you in the dressing room. No rabbit punch, no headbutts, no low blow. Shake your hands and good luck.
ADAMEK has promised that he will bring bravery to this fight. He said it's not about making money, it's about my place in history.
20 seconds to the fight. Still taking this off. 10 seconds to the fight. Seconds out, ladies. And fight.
The action is underway. Vitaly Klitschko in his 15th world title fight. ADAMEK, the He's got to be fast, Jim, and he's got to be busy.
Yeah, he's got to keep in and out. He's very good at working up close, ADAMEK, but obviously never faced a foe like this. Vitali is not guilty of allowing people into fights in the early stages. He doesn't start slowly, he gets on the front foot straight away, uses the jab, and that's what he's doing tonight, pushing ADAMEK straight away onto his heels.
His last defence in March against Oblania Solis, the Cuban, was all over in the first round. Well, ADAMEK says Solis may not have been as fit as he should have been, and that he has come here in the condition of his life.
How difficult it is to deal with the Klitschkos, both of them. They have that little step back as an opponent goes to make the first move. He's landing the right hand already. You can see Vitali means business. If he can finish this quickly, he will do so.
Even Lennox Lewis knew all about the strength and the power of Vitali Klitschko. Referee just giving ADAMEK a little ticking off for the head, getting inside, getting close. Thing which struck me when I was speaking to Klitschko earlier in the week is just how lean he still is. He is in amazing shape.
He looks in fantastic condition. I mean, at the age of 40, he comes in 17 stone 5. Amazing, but it just shows how seriously he takes being champion. There's maybe a little bit more strain now that the family have all of the titles. No one wants to be the one to upset that. But he started positively. Keeping a good right hand, partly blocked possibly, but you can see straight away Vitali means business, right down to that.
And that jab is an underrated weapon, always has been.
It's powerful, it's awkward, and it's difficult to deal with.
That's a good right hand from Klitschko, and ADAMEK felt the weight of the big Ukrainian's right hand there in this opening round, and a little bit of quiet around the stadium as they realise now that ADAMEK has got to soak it up, and that is a little bit of a taste maybe of what is to come.
I've wondered why this fight was taking place in Poland, why Vitali wanted to come here. I'm wondering if he fancies an early stoppage and he didn't want another early stoppage in Germany. Here it's not his own home fans who will be upset if it goes quickly, but he is going for the finisher straight away.
Interestingly, David Hay has been quoted in the newspapers in Germany this week, talking up the possibility of a fight against Klitschko. He'll be watching. Klitschko in the corner receiving words of advice from Fritz Sudanek. Vladimir in that corner as well, and there was that right hand, Jim.
Yeah, well, twice he brought the right hand into play in the opening round, so that tells you he really means business. He's not messing about. As soon as this one can be over for him, he'll be quite happy to oblige. Second
round, and Klitschko not troubled by ADAMEK as yet. So much the taller man, 6'7.5", big reach advantage. So many fighters have said, yep, the way to beat Klitschko, to get inside, to get past that jab, to work the body. But how do you begin to do it? Many have said it, few have succeeded. Yeah, and they haven't realised how difficult it is. I think an added problem from ADAMEK, in the lower weight categories, he was never difficult to catch with punches. He had a tight defence, but not a lot of head movement. And I think he's finding this early how difficult it is to get close to Klitschko. Nice little effort there from him, trying to put punches together. He's going to have to punch on the way forward. And every time he lands, the crowd will respond. You heard the great roar of acclaim. Yep, see, he's going to have to punch as he goes forward. He can't nudge his way forward. He can't try to slip the jab and then throw the punches. He's going to have to punch as he goes forward. But already you can see how difficult a night this is going to be. Some people say that boxing's struggling a little bit. You wouldn't believe it if you were here. Klitschko's huge news across Europe. The feature film Klitschko was premiered in Wrocław this week. Vladimir there doing countless interviews, selling the whole Klitschko story, and that's better from ADAMEK.
Yeah, that's a nice little burst, that'll give him a little bit of confidence. But the jab is always in his face.
Good work again. ADAMEK's one defeat was against Chad Dawson in 2007. On that occasion, he said it was a result of him taking too much weight off too late. And he decided thereafter time to move onwards and upwards. He said he was crazy youth.
And again.
Oh, good shot. Good shot from Klitschko. 2 in the first round and here again in the second. ADAMEK cannot be eating shots of that sort of power. Crowd respond as ADAMEK comes forward. The right hand didn't land flush. Klitschko's starting to measure him.
Yeah, but I think Klitschko just realises that ADAMEK is simply not big enough for the job. I remember seeing him bring the right hand into play so quickly and about before. He's looking at it.
Oh, good shot! Good shot from Klitschko. ADAMEK bravely uses the ropes, comes back off the ropes, and the bell goes to end a big round for Vitaly Klitschko. ADAMEK felt the power, wasn't sufficiently defensively cute, and now he has big trouble. And have the eyes cleared, Jim? I don't think so.
No, I think the psychological damage is worse than the physical damage. I don't think ADAMEK believed anyone could punch as hard as this. He's been in with heavyweights, but he's never been in this deep before. I think psychologically it will be seriously damaged every time the right hand has landed from Klitschko, and that's about 4 or 5 times already. He feels it right down to his boots. I think he knows this job is too big for him. It's just a case now, will he go out on his shield, or will he start to try to survive?
Well, he has got big trouble now. Klitschko, I always felt Vitaly particularly, it would have taken an outstanding heavyweight in any era to have defeated him. At the age of 40, he is still a massive, intimidating presence.
I'm just wondering what ADAMEK's corner could find to say to him at the end of the round there. I mean, he's been dominated, almost completely controlled, a couple of nice little bursts of his own, but he just cannot get himself into this.
Hasn't had Klitschko in any sort of trouble as yet.
Klitschko has an excellent chin, but he still never takes any risks with it. That's all part of his makeup and his style. So difficult to catch with punches.
The right hand is quick. Bringing in some cute little uppercuts in close as well, Klitschko. You can see every time he lands, the power differential is apparent.
And there's that little half step back again as ADAMEK tries to come forward. He just can't get close enough to do anything effectively.
Klitschko looking for that chopping right hand. He's had him in trouble in the opening round and in the second. He's looking for it again here.
Showing the little feint as well. Klitschko forcing ADAMEK into making the first move. There it goes again, coming in with the left hook.
ADAMEK, to be fair, appears to have recovered well, though, from the setbacks in the second round.
But he just doesn't know what to do here. Too small, doesn't have the reach, can't get close enough to do anything. He's been dominated again in this round.
ADAMEK's become massively popular since settling in the United States. Lives in New Jersey with his wife and family. And you can hear from the noise of the crowd what he means to the nation of Poland. And I'm sure all across the UK, the Polish community will be watching this one closely. But Klitschko, as he takes that big intake of breath, he knows that everything's going his way right now.
See, ADAMEK is having to take chances to try and get himself into this fight, to try and have a couple of little bits of success, and every time he takes a chance he's punished for it. The right hand working so well from Klitschko, the jab keeping him under control, thumping punches Klitschko's throwing.
Oh, impressive again from Klitschko as he attacks the body, switch to the body with the right hand.
I mean, there are no real weaknesses in Klitschko. He's clumsy, he's maybe slow on his feet at times, but the punches are quick, they're powerful, and he's developed a style so difficult to deal with.
Still, it says it still hurts him from his amateur days that people said he was clumsy. He might be clumsy, but he's winning. Vitaly Klitschko is now 500 to 1 on with the bookies to win this fight. Having a little punt on that one, Jim?
No, I don't even think I would risk a quid on that. I think we know how this is going. I really don't see ADAMEK getting himself into this. He won't quit, he's not that kind of fighter. He won't settle for second place. He'll keep trying to come up with something. But what can that possibly be?
Well, it has to be more than he's produced so far. 3 rounds gone and 3 rounds to Klitschko. At least that's the way that we're seeing it.
I mean, we're used to seeing Klitschko chiseling fighters down before he moves in with the big guns, so he obviously feels he's facing a cruiserweight here, and there's no reason to chisel away. You know, the result is inevitable, and he's just gotten on with the job, trying to make it as quick as possible. And I tell you, good to watch as well tonight.
Well, he's looked sharp, hasn't he? I know you were saying he's a bit ungainly, and yes, he is, but he's looked very sharp. Good hand speed from Klitschko.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a little vicious streak in him as well. I mean, the way he's throwing these right hands straight away from the opening round. He wanted the finish. He'd have been quite happy with a 1-round knockout, and he's still going. Every punch has mean intentions.
No real signs of physical deterioration, at least none I can make out. I seem to have been watching this fella fight for an awful long time. Was it 1998 he came over and beat Herbie Hyde? Nobody knew too much about him then. He was 11-4 against, I remember, in that fight. Pretty soon knew about him when he won by knockout and just carried on from there. That's better from ADAMEK. That's perhaps his best shot so far. A little bit of blood, is there, around the nose of the pole?
Yeah, I think there's blood in the mouth as well. Well, he's giving it a go now.
Well, it's what we knew was going to happen, Jim. He has got a big fighting heart. Remember that fight against Steve Cunningham? Up and down, Cunningham dishing out the pressure, and somehow ADAMEK came back. He has got that real warrior instinct.
He's still been thumped with these big, heavy-handed arm punches of Klitschko at the moment. Better, a lot better from the ADAMEK in this round. Not enough to turn it in his favour, but putting up more of an argument now.
Well, Klitschko dominant in the early stages. ADAMEK having his best round of the fight thus far.
Klitschko with a little feint again before he throws the punches. Breathing with his mouth open now, Klitschko. He set a fair old pace, remember, for a 40-year-old.
Yeah, I'd take your hat off to Thomas ADAMEK in this round, and there's a bit of swelling, is there, around the mouth of Klitschko. I think the left hook in particularly for ADAMEK has been a good weapon in this round.
He's got himself into the fight in this round. I don't think he won the round, but he got himself into things.
Certainly ADAMEK's best round of the fight so far.
Yeah, I think he got himself into things. Klitschko not quite so dominant. Klitschko breathing with his mouth open. A noticeable drop in the tempo of Klitschko's work. So, 40 years old, okay, he's got himself down to 17 stone 5. but is he feeling the pace?
Jim, I've got to just announce this. According to the WBC rules, after 4 rounds, they do give the scorecards, and the way I heard it on all 3 judges' cards, it's 40-36 to Klitschko. So after 4 rounds, Klitschko has won all 4. That's good though from ADAMEK. Good left hand.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with the judges. I have it 40-36 as well. But the main thing is there was a little change in the play. There's that right hand from Klitschko again. ADAMEK cannot deal with it.
Big effort from ADAMEK in the last round. Not enough to give him the round on the judges' cards. Big effort though, and it'll surely have taken a bit out of him.
Well, took the right hand shot there, but comes straight back at Klitschko again. Oh, good punch again, but again he's walking through it.
This is far better though from ADAMEK. It's as though after the end of the 3rd round there was visibly a self-belief in him, as much as to say, well, yeah, I've taken some big shots, I'm still in there.
But Klitschko has him at the range again. He's not harassing Klitschko the way he was doing in the previous round.
Big effort then. Maybe just couldn't sustain it. It's a good left-hand lead from Klitschko.
I mean, sometimes fighters who think it's a lost cause will go out and give it everything. Well, so as we can see, they went out in their shield. I wonder if there's a little bit of that with ADAMEK. But he got himself into the fight, but he's struggling again in this round.
We've seen fighters go in against Klitschko and really not do a great deal more than try and survive, like Kevin Johnson. We've seen fighters who are punchers who've gone in there and given it a go and wound up getting absolutely battered, like Shannon Briggs.
He's just standing over ADAMEK now. That imposing figure, dominating, bullying him, just completely controlling him in this round. There's the jab, and we're seeing nice little feints too before he throws the punches.
It's back to pattern, isn't it? ADAMEK hasn't been able to sustain it, and he's eating these punches from range.
And these are energy-sapping right hands he's been asked to take. Also the solid jabs straight to the face there. These sap the energy from a fighter. Giving away 2 stones.
The crowd were chanting ADAMEK, ADAMEK when he was on the attack in the last round. Now it's all gone a little bit quiet.
Klitschko dominant once again. There's that jab. That is a painful, thumping jab from Klitschko.
Now the chants start to reverberate around the stadium once more. Can ADAMEK draw some inspiration from them? Good round though this for Klitschko. He's re-established dominance. Vitaly Klitschko with another round in the bag.
Okay, if you step to the left, then use that jab. Use the jab and put something behind it. And cut him with a nice
Roger
right
Bloodworth
hand.
is the experienced trainer,
He's
leaning over the ropes,
That's the way it is.
speaking to Thomas ADAMEK, but you can see that the face is starting to mark up, his nose battered and bleeding.
I'm just thinking Shannon Briggs stayed the full course and took punches that maybe he shouldn't have taken. I hope the same thing doesn't happen tonight. I hope if it stays as one-sided as this, that ADAMEK's corner get him out of there, because he was taking thumping, powerful punches in that round.
He was taking career-shortening punches, and Klitschko, apart from a few difficult moments in the 4th round, has not really had to take a great deal. Who's the better of the 2 Klitschkos? Well, Vladimir's the boxer. Vitaly, people have always suspected, is the one with the nasty streak.
Yeah, and that's been on display several times tonight. He's showing patience now. He's probably surprised at a lovely uppercut. He's probably surprised that ADAMEK is still there. You see the legs. These are big punches. These are taking all the energy out of ADAMEK.
And there's not a lot of lateral movement from ADAMEK.
And nothing coming back.
Oh, good right hand. And is it going to be all over right there, I wonder? Well, the referee's giving the count.
He must have decided, because his backside hit the ropes, that maybe the ropes kept him up, because we don't have standing counts. So he must he's considering that a knockdown. The rope stopped him from going over.
It's only a matter of time now. Vitaly Klitschko, well, we always thought he was going to be very, very difficult to dislodge. But unless ADAMEK can find something huge here to turn this one around, and he'll lack nothing in bravery, his legs are stiff, and he's absorbing punches and giving nothing back. The referee's keeping a close watch at him.
I mean, we have weight divisions so that fighters are not asked to give away 2 stone. This is becoming painful to watch.
Heads went in. Klitschko took one underneath the jaw. The referee was cute to it. Good body shot. Big right hand from Klitschko. If David Hay really is, but possibly heading towards a fight with Vitaly Klitschko, he's getting a fairly graphic display here of what Klitschko is still capable of delivering.
Everything that ADAMEK brought into the ring has been punched out of him. Don't want to see this one going on too much longer. He's proud. 40-odd thousand people here to cheer him on, but unfortunately there's not too much to cheer about. This really is painful.
From the outset, Klitschko was the dominant force. Second round was a big one for him. ADAMEK had his moments in the 4th, but he's had the count here in the 6th, and it looks as though there's no way back.
Just doesn't know what to do, John. Hasn't a clue what to do, like so many before him.
The crowd are right behind him, still trying to rally ADAMEK, but he absorbs 3 jabs straight into his face in the closing seconds of the round, and another one for Klitschko.
You know, if you wanted to be cruel, you could actually score some of these rounds 10-8 because Klitschko is just so dominant.
Well, the last one would be a 10-8 because of the knockdown.
Because of the knockdown.
Because of the count. That would be a 10-8 because of the count. Well, look
it's
again.
It's just so one-sided, isn't it?
The gap is surely now insurmountable. And you wonder whether a compassionate corner here should be thinking about pulling him out.
Well, they're getting ready for battle again. So, back in he goes.
Roger Bloodworth trained Andrew Gullotta. He trained Pernell Whitaker late in his career. Now with Thomas ADAMEK. And the 7th round is underway with ADAMEK and his corner hoping that he doesn't have to take too much more of that. But you sense it's just a matter of time, Jim.
Yeah, but Vitaly, again, even though he has an opponent at the edge of knockout, he still doesn't take chances. He doesn't allow them back into the fight. He's leading with the right hand now. He still takes his time, still chisels away, looking for the finish, still not taking chances.
Well, against Klitschko, defeats can be career-ruining. Think of Sam Peter, think of Shannon Briggs. Just taking his foot off the gas, maybe, just for a moment or two here. ADAMEK is able to survive, and he's got a bit more of the old bobbing and weaving into his work.
I mean, he is a quality fighter, ADAMEK, a two-weight world champion. He knows his way around. Does take too many punches, maybe. But it's just the way it can be completely dominated. You cannot give either of the Klitschkos a 2-stone weight advantage.
Fairly telling, wasn't it, really, that ADAMEK found it a tough ask to get past Chris Arreola. Klitschko absolutely dominated Arreola. There wasn't one moment of the fight when the American looked as though he was going to beat the big Ukrainian. And really, when you think about him coming back after the layoff because of injury, when it looked as though his career was going to be over, has Klitschko lost a round? I can't think of one.
Don't think so. Straight at the world level too. Amazing athlete. I think people are beginning to appreciate both of the Klitschkos. We complained about them for a few years because of their awkwardness, their cagey style. They didn't seem to have the warrior heart. But I think most people now appreciate them and will be sorry to see them go.
Certainly a very classy act in terms of publicising themselves and the way in which they react with their public. Quiet around this one. And ADAMEK being allowed to survive.
Yeah, Klitschko's come off the gas, but still not prepared to take any punches, just chipping away with the jab. Taking a little bit of a breather, it seems.
Looks as though he had the fight there for the taking at the end of the 6th round. I wonder if this is just a little bit of peace before the storm, if he's going to cut loose again in the 8th.
Well, he doesn't stop too many people all that early these days, Klitschko. But it looked in the previous round as though one sustained attack could finish this one.
39 of Vitaly Klitschko's 42 wins have come inside the distance. Those 2 defeats, one against Chris Bird when he just decided he'd damaged his shoulder and didn't want to risk his career as he saw it, and then the defeat against Lennox Lewis, which even to this day he'll say, had there been a rematch, had it not been for the cuts, he was going to win that fight. Lennox, of course, sees it slightly differently, but he's in at the top of the pile for an awful long time. Fritz Sudanek and Vladimir in the background, listening to every word.
You can see that when the punches land, you can see shuddering right down to his boots. Every punch hurtful. The jab working, the right hand, uppercuts bringing them into play as well. Excellent performance from Klitschko so far.
Eight of Vitaly Klitschko's last 9 wins have lasted 8 rounds or more, so here we are in the 8th. He's on a run of 10 on the spin since that loss to Lennox Lewis. Has great aspirations as a politician as well as a fighter. Striving for democracy in his homeland, the Ukraine, and I suspect there's going to come a time when that's going to mean more to Vitaly than boxing. But I don't think that time is quite here yet.
Well, it's difficult to consider retirement when you're dominating the division. He's not just hanging on to his title, he's dominating opponents, and he's done that again so far tonight. Off the pedal a little bit the last round, and this one.
It's allowing ADAMEK to hang in there, it's allowing him to survive, and he's not having the crisis moments that he was a couple of rounds ago.
But still not taking any punches from ADAMEK. Still keeping his mind on the job, and that safety-first approach.
It was really only the 4th round when ADAMEK landed anything of note in the whole fight so far.
Yeah, but that might just have been the big round, as I say. I wonder if ADAMEK in his mind felt he was on the way out and he just wanted a big round, because he hasn't been. The next round he was completely dominated again, and he hasn't been allowed to do anything since.
Champ's gone from the bleachers once more for ADAMEK.
The same quality in Klitschko's punching, just little prodding punches at the moment. Maybe just biding his time.
Well, he can quite comfortably now just box his way through if need be. It's such a big lead. He's breathing a bit heavily now, Vitaly. It's a good jab. ADAMEK has come from behind to win fights in the past. Surely, though, never had to come from quite such a position of adversity as this.
Klitschko bringing the jab up from his knees. ADAMEK doesn't even see it coming. There it goes again.
ADAMEK's certainly brave, though. Now forced back. That was a quality clipping. Oh my goodness!
He actually tripped over ADAMEK's foot, I think. He tripped over his ankle.
Well, the crowd don't believe it, though. They think that was a sits down on the stool a little bit heavily. And I just wonder whether, when he went down, whether he might just have damaged his leg. We'll have another look at this one.
I don't know if he's more embarrassed than anything else. It looked to me like he just tripped over ADAMEK. We'll see it here now.
Well, what happened here?
Nah, he was in the way over. There wasn't a punch landed. Just as I thought, he tripped over ADAMEK's leading foot there just as he moved forward. Just a little bit clumsy. There it goes there. Over he goes.
Remember Solis in the last defence, though? Out in the first round as a result of falling awkwardly. Doesn't look too worried about things, though, does he? And Vladimir in the background doesn't look worried at all. All scores at the moment are 80 points to 71 in favour of Vitaly Klitschko. 80-71.
Yeah, and I've got exactly the same. I don't think anyone could score it any differently. Well, it doesn't seem to be injured. He seems to, I think, maybe just more embarrassment than anything else.
80-71 means he's won every round apart from the round the 6th, when he got the knockdown scored in his favour, or rather the count scored in his favour, when ADAMEK fell back against the ropes. So at the moment, a complete shutout for Klitschko.
And he's putting the snap back into the punches again, Klitschko.
It'll be interesting to hear what he makes of that when he went down onto the canvas afterwards. Moment of red-faced embarrassment, maybe.
I mean, this is normally the time in a Vitaly fight, but maybe he's not most of the fight out of an opponent. He puts the pedal down and finishes it. Is he doing that now?
Well, I think he had pretty much most of the fight out of ADAMEK by the end of the 6th. And then he took a bit of a breather. Now you do see that he's applying the foot to the accelerator once more. Right hand from ADAMEK, just a little reminder. But the Pole's being forced to give ground all the time, Jim.
And it must be demoralising. He just doesn't see the jab coming, and there's so much power in it.
Pea shooter stuff against heavy artillery. Crowds chanting again all around. They're standing up and bellowing their support.
Yeah, full credit to ADAMEK. He's giving it a go. He's trying to get close. He's trying to get some punches off. But nothing that he tries works. He must be demoralised here.
He had a great belief. He said it was his destiny and that they had a game plan that they'd worked long and hard at. Needs more than a game plan now. It needs a huge shot to catch Klitschko flush. And never at any stage has been suggestion that Klitschko hasn't got an absolute iron chin.
These are big right hands he's been forced to take here. Been dominated once again. Klitschko has put the foot back on the gas again.
Big round for Klitschko. ADAMEK's going to see it through to go in for another one. But he's going to look a tired man when he goes back to that corner. These are hurtful shots.
And you have to hand it to ADAMEK. He hasn't done anything to make it easier. He hasn't looked to survive, to try to get to the last bell. He's doing everything he can, but nothing's good enough.
Looked a little bit unsteady as he went back to the corner. Sunk heavily onto his stool. Blood oozing from nose and mouth. And the doctor, I think, is having a look up there. Well, there's Klitschko, who looks absolutely cool and composed. And they're looking across to the other side.
Well, I always felt the fact that he's boxing in Poland in front of 40,000 fans, I always felt that ADAMEK would have to give up his best. He wouldn't be able to quit, he wouldn't want to quit. And that's probably, maybe in the corner they would like to pull him out, but he's refusing. He wants to hear the final bell. He has his pride. So although boxing at home can be an advantage, it can also be a bit of a disadvantage.
Well, the can come a point in a fight where pride can be damaging, and bravery can not do a fighter favours. And you just wonder about ADAMEK now. Is he taking too much? Into the 10th round. Every round so far to Vitaly Klitschko. You know, looking back at heavyweight history, Jim, I think probably Lennox Lewis wasn't properly appreciated until his career as heavyweight champion was over. And you mentioned it earlier, alluded to it earlier. I think that's certainly the case very much with Vitaly and with Vladimir, I think, increasingly as well.
I agree with that, and I think it's down to the fact that they haven't always displayed, you know, the warrior instincts. Neither of the Klitschkos have shown that. Lennox didn't show that unless he really had to do it. He did show it several times in fights. So I think that was maybe one of the reasons they weren't appreciated. But now, Lennox certainly is, and I think these guys will be the same. Klitschko was slated, wasn't he, as a choker and a quitter when he stopped against Chris Bird, even though he was way in front on the judges' cards. He had a torn rotator cuff, and he said, I knew exactly how I felt, and had I continued, I'd have been jeopardising my entire career. And these hurtful jabs again, ADAMEK cannot get away from.
Oh, it's a big right hand. Referee should be surely having a closer look at this now. He's on unsteady legs, ADAMEK. There's another big right hand, and another. Where's the referee? ADAMEK's taking too much here. And surely this should be stopped.
Domination, yep, this is completely dominated here. If he gets to the end of this round, and I don't think he's going to do that, the corner must pull him out. This is just cruel.
Well, there's a few catcalls and shouts from the crowd now. I think they want to see this one over as well. Partisan as they may be. Even a jab there, rocking ADAMEK back onto the ropes. He's taking too much, Jim. I don't like seeing this.
His legs have gone. The fight has been knocked out of him. He has nothing left. Get in there, this. Thank heavens.
Well, Klitschko celebrates after a fashion, as much as to say, though, that should have been stopped. He knew it. He was just in there doing a good job. ADAMEK was brave, but the Italian referee let it go on, for me, considerably too long.
I think the corner could have put it. It's possible, John, I don't know, maybe the corner were trying to pull him out a couple of rounds earlier, but ADAMEK was refusing to come out. We don't know what was on the corner. We weren't getting very good corner sound tonight. But, I mean, Klitschko, again, showing style when the fight's over. He didn't go crazy. He knows he's in ADAMEK's neck of the woods. He knows ADAMEK put up a tremendously brave show. Couldn't get himself into the fight really at any time. A little spell in the 4th round, but that was about it. Complete domination. Wonderful performance from Klitschko. And congratulations for the courage of Tomasz ADAMEK.
Excellent performance from Klitschko. It's a pub debate, it's an internet debate, isn't it? Which of the top fighters in heavyweight history could have dealt with Vitaly Klitschko? You'll all have your own ideas about that. I've got my ideas, but I just know for a fact it would have taken a very, very special fighter to have beaten him in any era.
Yep, and you can't blame him at the age of 40, still looking to the future, still saying he wants another 2 or 3 fights before he thinks about retirement. He has other ambitions in his life. This shows the popularity of the man. He's just beaten their hero, he's beaten their hero up. But look at the response he's getting from ADAMEK's fans. This man really is appreciated now.
Well, there's disappointment, of course, from the partisan Polish fans. ADAMEK gave everything he could, but Vitaly Klitschko, pretty much, apart from the 4th round, won just about every minute of the fight. Absolutely dominant. We'll be hearing from him, hopefully, a little bit later on. And he'll be saying, yeah, I've got time left. I saw in the press this week that Fritz Sudanek was saying 2 fights, 3 fights, and Klitschko's going to be out of it. Vitaly will have had enough by then. But there's no diminution in the talent, none whatsoever.
Yeah, well, as he looks behind him, I don't think there's too much coming up behind that he has to worry about. And he's doing it with ease. I mean, he's not even in hard fights. He's just completely taking charge of opponents, the best of the heavyweights. So, I mean, maybe eventually he'll just get fed up with the whole thing, think no more challenges out there, I've had enough, then start chasing a political career.
Vladimir's talking about being back in the ring in December. Robert Helenius, one of the people they're talking about, also talked about young British rising talent Tyson Fury. That might be one for the future, but maybe not quite yet. And Thomas Adamek will tell you all about just how difficult it is to get in the ring with Vitaly Klitschko, who's really sharp, focused from word go. And when we saw his weight at the weigh-in, he looked in such terrific shape, Jim, and that was just underlined in the fight.
Yeah, and I just don't think people can believe how difficult it is to catch him with punches. He moves around slowly. Sometimes his punches look a little bit ponderous. They certainly didn't tonight. But he looks easy to hit. But when fighters are in there, decent fighters. OK, the heavyweight division is not as strong as we'd like it to be, but decent fighters can't land cleanly on the guy. Developed a technique to perfection, and it's working so well for him.
Well, there's the WBC belt around that huge shoulder once more. Referee Massimo Barravecchio giving his words of congratulation. I'd just have liked to have seen Mr. Barravecchio maybe step in a minute or two earlier than he did, and there is an argument, I think, that the corner might have pulled Adamek out, but when you've got a proud man like that, he's the boss in his own corner, I guess, and there's not too many Eddie Futch types out there who are going to pull their man out.
Well, I don't think anyone would have been too disappointed that if the corner had pulled him out, and as I've said a couple of times, there is a possibility the corner wanted to pull him out and he wouldn't hear of it. We don't know. He's a proud man, 40-odd thousand fans here, so he's gone out in his shield. If that's what he wanted to do, then he has his wish. He put up a show, gave it a go, but as we reckon, the job was just far too big for him.
A few Ukrainian flags up in the crowd as well, and a lot of Polish fans have stayed on as well. And there's some singing around here. I think that's from the Polish fans celebrating the bravery of their man Thomas Adamek. He was found wanting tonight, but I think his place will be secure in Polish folklore. They admire his bravery, but when it came to, this fellow was just too much. Just too much. And in a moment or two, we will be getting confirmation of the result. So many people up there in the ring at the moment, it's very tricky to see what's going on exactly. I can see Michael Buffer, though, with the microphone poised.
Yeah, and although Adamek had a knockdown counted against him, I mean, you can see he didn't actually go on the floor. He sagged onto the ropes. The referee decided to call it a knockdown, which is fair enough.
And look at this, he's applauding Adamek. I love the sportsmanship of the Klitschko brothers. They are genuinely nice people to be around. Great fighters, yes, but they do it with real class.
You know, a couple of times I've seen Manny Pacquiao come off the pace and invite referees to stop fights recently, but we didn't see that from Vitaly Klitschko tonight. As long as he was in there, he was businesslike, he was going for the finish. We didn't see any softness in his approach. Did the job properly.
Well, there they are, side by side. Klitschko victorious. And here it comes.
Let's acknowledge the heart and determination of this two-time world champion, the Polish warrior, Tomasz Adamek. Seconds of round number 10, the winner by TKO victory and still WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Eisenhower, Vitaly